Hello everyone, Zach here from the Carnival of Randomness on behalf of our sponsor, Upsitnik & Associates. In these unprecedented times, we reflect on our future, both in the next few weeks and months, but also the upcoming years and decades. And it's time to prepare for that future. Upsitnik & Associates has been contacted by many healthcare workers, as well as old and new clients, to prepare wills, powers of attorney, and advance directives, also called a living will. All of you need these documents. So don't say you don't have any assets to speak of, no children or other dependents. Regardless of the circumstances now, you will need a will for today and tomorrow. Al Upsitnik feels so strongly about having wills and other needed documents prepared that Upsitnik & Associates can prepare your will, power of attorney, and living will at no charge. You heard that correct. No charge until the end of 2020. No hidden fees or gimmicks. Al feels so strongly about planning for the future at this time that he is willing to assist you with your future. Trust Upsitnik & Associates, attorneys for 42 years, from the Supreme Court to Alaska and everywhere in between. You can find them online, upsitnikslaw.com, on Facebook, Upsitnik & Associates, or call them toll-free 1-866-391-3299 to prepare for your future.
Hi, everybody. It's Carnival of Randomness. Yes, we're still around. We're incidental nowadays. But I want to take you back the time before all this. It was Valentine's Day 2020. I think it was minus 14 out. And on Valentine's Day, after Valentine's Day Massacre got over at the Bug Jar, I tend to go 4 or 5, 6 places. I know Tommy's band was playing. And I actually went to Abilene because my friend Jeff Scherner's band was playing the happy hour. And I hung out with his wife, Heather. We had a good time, saw some friends. And I had to wait till about 10 o'clock to see some other shows. So I saw Adrianna, as advertised, was playing. And I'd heard of them. And actually, as you'll find out, I've actually seen her before. So I decided to stay around. I figured I'd catch the first set. And I was, to say the least, blown away. I mean, this is a natural. And I pretty much become the big Adrianna fan of the summer because she's one of the people who played, and she's also really good. But very glad to welcome Adrianna Noone today. Hi.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, very thankful to see you. And plus, we have a little very special guest who's probably going to be silent.
I know. I hope she's silent. Yeah, this is my little puppy, Juniper. And she's like maybe 10 weeks old now. She's just chewing on her pumpkin bone.
Could you imagine being that in 2020, being oblivious?
No, not at all. Oh, not at all. But she's just so content all the time.
You have some stories to tell when you grow up into a big dog, Junie.
I know, right?
But you just give us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so basically, I started performing when I was probably like 5 years old. But I was an Irish dancer. And I really enjoyed that. And then I got to be older, and I always loved singing. I always watched, like, American Idol, and I just always wanted to do that, and that's all that I really knew. So then I got older, and I stopped doing dancing so that I could be more active in musicals and community theater, and so I did that for a little while, and then I realized that acting isn't my thing. And the dancing that you do in musicals, also not my thing, but singing is my thing. So I tried to figure out different things I could do, and I did some benefit concerts that I put on, and with the help of my voice teacher, too, we started that. And then I did them on my own, and then I had a friend join in on one, my friend Shannon, and then I went to college, and I did, and I continued to do music there, and I went to Belmont University in Nashville, and I did their commercial music program there, and then I transferred to Purchase College in Westchester.
It's SUNY, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so
I almost bought that college, but I decided not to.
Oh.
Purchase.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But I went there. I missed New York, and I wanted to be as close to the city as possible, and that was such a great option for me, a great choice. So I went there, and I did their jazz program, and then I And then I finished there.
Been around. I've also found, like you've talked about theater, when you're not good at music like me or theater, you do podcasts.
Yeah.
You find your way. But we become the Irish dancer-friendly podcast because my friend Stephanie Oswald, she was on. She's still doing it. They make their own dress.
Really?
She does a spider costume, and obviously they're bummed out because they can't, because of obviously circumstances this year. But I've gotten into Irish dancing, and I also knew my friend from the days when I used to work at bars, Eddie Murphy, who has Drumcliff Studios.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, and I remember them coming in, and this is a lot of respect to Irish dancers when I've worked bars on St. Patrick's Day. But they would come in to carols and to other bars and come in and do this. But so we are the Irish dancing podcast.
Awesome. That's good to know. Yeah, I loved it so much. I still love it. I still love watching it. I wish I still did it, but I feel like a lot of times it's more competitive. Like, you do the lessons, you do the dance in order to compete with it, like it's not.
I've seen from Stephanie that they have all the meets.
Yeah,
they have everything, all these big competitive.
Exactly.
And all I think of is like some bad movie or something where people are cheating. People take it too seriously.
Oh, they take it seriously, but it's so fun. It was so fun and interesting. But I feel like nobody really knows. It looks like, if you walk into those competitions, it looks like that show Toddlers and Tiaras, where it's a bunch of like little girls and they've got spray tans and they've got the wigs, and I'm like, what is going on? They have socks that are bedazzled with jewels on them.
I've seen the costumes.
Yeah.
I've seen Stephanie does like a spider costume, but I've seen all the costumes. Yeah. Not like that mean dance mom woman.
No, it's not like that.
I went as her for Halloween one year.
You did? Yeah. Abby Lee. Oh, I love that show too.
But it's not like that. It's not like Whiplash or anything.
No. I mean, if you get the wrong teacher, I guess it could be. But no, it's fun. It's fun. It's a really
Well, it's like I like ballet, but I've never,
ballet.
indulged. Only thing I have to do is get back into yoga now. It's been a long time. It's been like a year or so. But it's one of those years. But you started, did you have anybody, in terms of music?
Yeah.
Was there something you heard the album or the person? I know you're a big Nina Simone fan, but did you hear, in terms of first, when did you really hear something and say, was it on TV like that, or was it an album or a musician where you really said, wow, I want to do that?
Yeah, well, when I listened to American Idol, when I watched that show, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to sing songs like that. I don't know. I just wanted to be on stage like that. And I was 3 or 4, I think. But I always would sing to the Beauty and the Beast movie. I would sing all those songs, and I loved it. But as I got older, what I realized was kind of more the sound that I liked, the kind of, the direction I wanted to go in, I guess, or what really spoke to me was Florence and the Machine. And I heard her music. I feel like I was on a field trip in middle school, and I can remember I was on the bus, and I don't know where we were going, but I was listening to whatever I was listening to, and then a Florence and the Machine song came on, and I was obsessed with it. And so then I just started listening to music that was similar to that from there, and that's kind of how I don't know, that was kind of what inspired me.
I have one of my friends, her mom told me when she was a little girl, and she's a singer, and she knew because she would just sing along to all the Disney films.
Yeah.
Going around like she wanted to be Cinderella, she wanted to be a princess, just going and singing around to it. Yeah. And that's how you get the vibe, you get into the music.
Yeah.
Like Florence Machine, for you, an Apple for me was one of the ones that in terms of, I know a lot of people who, and it's like a lot of, like I'll talk about your voice a little bit later, like for Fiona's, you can't pinpoint it.
Yeah.
And like one of the biggest things I ever had in terms of like a friend of mine, she had a gin and tonic with Fiona Apple at South by Southwest, and I was so jealous. I was just, no, I want to go down. I'm going to fly down there.
I want to go there so badly.
One of my friends played it, and she'd had pictures of Julian Lennon with talking with Fiona Apple. And I don't want to talk about that this year because this is the year I'm still getting emails with canceled concert tickets.
No, I know.
And I've had, there was a festival in East Aurora. I was going to go see Jason Isbell, which every year I've seen with my friend Moondog Dave. We've seen him. We went to the Beacon Theater to see him. And Jason is, if you don't know who Jason is, why are you listening to this? But he is one of the best songwriters there is. And Trey Anastasio, my friend calls me up. He's playing with Trey Anastasio. I'm going to get tickets as soon as it opens. 2 dates only with him. Oh, it's canceled.
No.
So it's one of those years.
I know.
But then you actually went off to college and studied music.
Yep.
And I know 1920s jazz, did you say?
Yeah.
Because I know you like that.
See, you're right. I don't know. It's weird. When I was very young, I listened to a lot of rap. I don't know what it was. I loved 50 Cent. I loved Will Smith. I think I had a crush on Will Smith. I don't know.
Well, he's great. He's awesome.
Yeah. But I was like 3, But I loved rap, R&B when I was younger. Then I got a little bit older and I was obsessed with the top 40 stuff on the radio. And then I got a little bit older and I was obsessed with Florence and the Machine and that more alternative kind of stuff. And then recently I love listening to 70s music, 1920s music. I love it so much. I don't know. I listen to all different kinds of music.
And you could tell that you go see one of your shows is like this big creative stew of all this kind of music. There really is. It's like you hear this and it's like, well, there's a Leonard Cohen song.
Yeah.
Then your own songs have. You could tell there's like so much influence in there.
Oh, thanks.
And like for me with rap, it was always like Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And the older raps. And every year I play Christmas Goes to Hollis from Run DMC. Those are my groups and everything. Mm-hmm. So, but then like the more modern stuff. And I mean, I liked it because there's a poetry to it. People, even like Eminem, there are some songs he's done I've heard where they're really good. And there's like a poetry to it and the rhythm and everything.
I love Eminem. Mm-hmm.
Plainer on, they have a new fudge brownie one this year, I guess.
Yeah.
M&M flavors, yeah. I constantly have to make the joke there. But I remember seeing you actually, this goes back, I thought I saw you on Valentine's Day. You were Love and Cup's idol.
Yes, I was.
And I told you the story where you sung Goodbye, the one I heard was Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And I said, this is Sarah Bareilles. This is not Alan John.
No, you were
how
on
did that come about? And I remember the weirdness is I saw you those years ago then. There you were again.
I know. Well, I don't know how. I think I was a senior in high school, and it was in the winter, and because I remember every time that we had to drive over there for the show, it was always snowing and badly. Like it could be any other day of the week. It was fine, and then those specific days snowing. So, but yeah, I got into that, and that was so fun. And I don't remember how I heard about it, if maybe a friend sent me a link or one of my family members, but so I went over there and I did that, and that was so cool. And I love that place. I love Leslie. I love all of them over there. And so, yeah, it was really fun, and they had the whole band there, and Willie was great, and they had all the guys. And
I know Matt does, I don't know if he did the sound or Matt Guineri for that, but
I think
he's
he did.
usually the sound guy. He is
I think he did.
top notch. He is just incredible.
Yeah, and it was so fun because it really, it pushed me, I think, definitely, because every week I had to come up with, if I had moved on, I had to come up with another song from a certain topic or genre or something. There was always some kind of cool new thing we had to pick from. So that was fun, and that pushed me. And then to get to work with the musicians there was really fun and great. And so I think that helped me grow a lot.
I think there's something about Love and Cup in the winter, though, where it's the curse of the storm. And I remember going to see Marissa Mulder there, and she's a great jazz vocalist, and she will do Tom Waits.
Yeah.
But I remember going there, I debated going, and I got there, and there was a haze of snow.
Yeah.
And I got down there, and it got a little better, but Tom Cohen from the Bop Shop told me they had to drive her home to Canandaigua afterwards, and I guess it was horrifying.
Oh, yeah.
I was at a high-riser show one time. I looked outside. I couldn't even see any cars. So there is the curse of Rochester.
I know.
That's the one thing here.
I know.
That's the one thing. But the one thing I found from you, too, is that you really do dig back into the 70s and the classic and everything. And how did that come? Did you just find the albums? Or did you just hear the songs and explore?
Yeah, I hear the songs. I listen to a lot of... I'm on Spotify all the time. All the time I'm listening to music. And I feel like I'm always finding different artists from that, or just from what I like, it'll show me other songs or other artists that are similar to that. So I've just gotten into a lot of stuff like that, I guess. I like Wings. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I find it.
And also, too, you have this style for vocals that I think you could cover any genre and do it. It's like, it's really great to see as you grow to pull it off. I'll like toss a song at you to do sometime. I'll request it. And
yeah, please do. Please do.
Only play. Did you say that one time? I'll sing it if I know it.
Yeah, I was like, I'll sing it if I know it. I know. Well, that's how I feel if it's like a live show. I'm like, I'll sing it if I know it. But no, I love. That's another thing too. I love when people request, songs for me to sing, because it also is another way for me to hear different songs, different musicians. And I don't know, I also, when I was younger and playing out, or, singing at open mics and stuff, I feel like I would always do songs by female artists that were, current, that I'd heard on the radio, but it didn't really allow me to kind of be me. I feel like I was always kind of singing like how I heard them singing it. So, and I wanted to get away from that. I wanted to find my own sound. So I feel like from listening to all different genres and different decades and taking, songs by male artists and covering them, I feel like it's given me more of an opportunity to find my own sound and make them my own.
That's the one thing. I think there's a difference in terms of artists. There are cover bands and tribute bands, and you go see them. When you go see these kind of bands, you want to hear the song as done. Like, say you go see an Eagles cover band.
Yeah.
You want to hear that song.
Yeah.
It's close. My friend Rob Mount, he played with Lou Gramm, but he also played, before they played in a band called Stranger, which is a foreigner cover band. The audience did not want to see you do an improv jazz solo. They want to hear if you're playing Cold as Ice.
Right.
They want to hear, beat by beat.
Yeah.
But in terms of other singers, where you do a mix of your original, you interpret the songs.
Yeah.
You make them their own. And I think that's the thing where I think good music's out there for you. And again, you do your own, but there's also some very good music out there, and you twist it to make it your own. I feel like I was really surprised the one time. It's like, wow, it's House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, yeah.
And understand that, too. This is a folk song. It goes back many years. Bob Dylan covered it. Mm-hmm. And actually, he's the only one, I think, who's done it from the female perspective.
Really?
There's a female perspective, and it's not the animals. Bob Dylan's first album, he does it from the female perspective.
I've got to hear that. I don't know why I haven't.
I own that, actually, because I went on a huge Dylan thing, because I actually met him for 5 minutes when he played at the auditorium.
Oh.
And what could I say? It's like, you never want to meet your idols, right?
Right.
So I had my friends with me, and we're walking down Prince Street, and there's the other street.
Yeah.
And this was 2018, I think. It was winter, so it's crappy out.
Okay.
I parked by East to walk. So I go out there, and Dylan's playing, and like a limo pulls up, and he's there, and he's like by the gates. And what it was, when we made eye contact, I'm not going to say a word to him, but he's like, because it's Dylan, right?
Right.
And what do I say, though? He like gives me a little smile, and I wave, and I say, Mr. Dylan, I play your Christmas album every year. And one of my friends, he said he really enjoyed making it.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was very polite, he left, and that was, I think it was because none of us were idiots.
Yeah.
We didn't ask for pictures.
Yeah.
And the thing about that, my friend had a fit. My friend Monty. You met Zimmerman. You didn't talk to him about Blood on the Tracks. You talked to him about a Christmas album.
Oh, my gosh.
And he was dead on. And the thing I think about Dylan, too, he's toured, except he had some illnesses in the 80s. He's on the road 200 times a year.
Yeah.
And now he's another one. It's like my friend Hayes Carl. He's on the road about 200 days a year. He's been doing his shows, the streaming shows.
Yeah.
But it's just that weirdness where all of a sudden your whole lifestyle,
yeah,
it's like that. But also, you do make them their own. But I like also, like, for example, you do Jim Croce's Operator.
Yeah.
But you toss in a Girl from the North Country.
Yeah.
Did you come up with that?
I did. Thank you for noticing. I've just, sometimes I hear things and I'm like, I was listening to it, and I was thinking to myself, that sounds exactly like Girl from North Country.
Probably was, because, we all build on everything.
Right. So then I thought, let's throw it in there. Because I was just listening to the version of that by Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan. And so I was like, let's throw that in there.
I've seen that. Yes, there's also Pete Townsend does one. The only thing he does on his solo album, what he does, he calls it North Country Girl.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know. I heard that and I was like, that would be interesting and fun. And so I threw it in there. But yeah, I noticed that too with the end of Gold Dust Woman. There's a part where at the end it kind of just, they kind of keep going with it and tagging and everything. And then I noticed that it sounded like Gimme Shelter. So then I started to sing Gimme Shelter. And that was really cool.
Does this come spur of the moment? I'd like to see, like, when you...
Yeah.
I want you to do something when you do... Because I love Blondie.
It did, yeah.
Obviously, when you do Heart of Glass, to, pull something else out.
I know. I'm like, if I ever hear something and it comes to my mind, I'll do it. But, yeah, I did that in practice one time. We were doing Gold Dust Woman for the first time. And we're just kind of vamping at the end. And I was like, wait a minute. And then I just started to go for Gimme Shelter.
That's the closest. I can't really pinpoint your voice. I think it's just, you do have a great voice. It's
Thank
one of
you.
the best. I can't, but it's one of those, again, I can't pinpoint who you sound like, which I think is awesome because you sound like Adrianna.
Thank you.
It's like when you sing Dreams, it's like, it's the first time I've heard you do sound a bit like Stevie, but no, you don't. And so you're like the first, like some people will say, well, you're the second, no, you're the first Adrianna. So be proud.
Thank you. That is like one of the things that that means a lot. It means a whole lot when people say that because I feel like I've listened to so many artists and you're inspired by certain people, but you never want to sound like that person or, you know what I mean? You want to
I know
make
because
sure
I
you're
write.
your
I've
own
written
artist.
since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And what they said, it's like I've done a couple films too, and like the things we do, what they used to say about writing is, well, you start off, you get all kind, however you reach your goal, we all do it differently. They would say when you're writing, pick sort of a style of somebody you like. So I would do Ray Bradbury, and then build off into your own.
Yeah.
But I think you just, you've picked your own style from the beginning because you have so many different influences. And I think that's I've had in a lot of things I've done is I've had my comic books, my classical music, my old movies, any type, because I'm one of those music people. I do the Dizzy Gillespie thing. Dizzy said, there's two types of music, good music and bad music. Mm-hmm. My friends and I would be the people down at Lakeshore Record Exchange. We'd have a stack like this. Yeah. Hank Williams on the bottom, Slayer on the top, the Zombies in the middle. If it was good, it was good. It was like, a lot of my friends talking Love and Cup, like, they're big still into, like, metal. I'll get a call, well, the new Armored Saint thing came out. Yeah. I have to give them the call every year. Hey, do you know? Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas one on sale. Uh-huh. And they will be spring, and I will be going out, well, in the old days when we could go out, on the music scene, sing all kinds, and I'd see mutual friends, one night be jazz, another night, piano, pop one night, and that's the beauty of it, and I think you bring all that in there. Oh, that's why you're sort of your own.
Thank you.
Did you have any lessons for that, or you just...
I've had voice lessons. I've had voice lessons throughout the years, but I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't had lessons in a while, I guess.
I think it's natural, though. I think some people... I've always had this joke about American Idol. Like, for example, can you imagine if Cohen, Dylan, Waits went on? They'd boot them out because of those voices in the second.
I know.
Or Ray Davies. I'll give two examples especially. Ray Davies and John Lennon.
Yeah.
Technically, they're not great singers. But you hear Waterloo Sunset, you'll cry. Yeah. And
that is true.
And they know that they interpret songs. And you know how to interpret songs. And that's the one difference between a singer and an artist. I mean, somebody can have technically a great voice, but they have no feeling for the song. You know how to interpret songs.
Thank you. I
don't just go to shows because of quarantine.
Thank you. No, I don't know. I've had a lot of great help along the way. I've had a lot of great teachers. I've had a lot of great mentors. And so that's been really nice.
And the other thing too, but wait, you play instruments.
Yeah. Well, I did not play instruments until, a couple years ago. I started playing guitar, and I was actually... So I have an EP out currently, and I wrote and produced that, or I co-wrote it with Bob Marini, and who's local, and he produced it all and everything, and it was great. It's great. So we've got that on Spotify and on... Amazon Music and Apple Music, anywhere you can find music.
That's the beauty now. I always said, I used to say, a lot of local bands in the day, we would make the comment it sounded local because some of the technology was. Now, if you got it, you can get it out there.
Oh, yeah.
The only downside, talk about that sometime, is that a couple of people have said there is so much out there.
There is a lot out there, but it's nice sometimes. I mean, like I said, Spotify, sometimes I find artists that are not very well known, and I love their music. I just love it. So it's nice as well that it's so accessible, you know?
That's the beauty, accessibility. That's the word. We had, for example, we did a fundraiser for one of my movies because our camera broke, and I worked at Monty's Corner, so we just, you know, they let me use it there for a day off. Yeah. And what we had, my friend Beth found a guy in Georgia who was like a folk singer, and he was great. And the idea was neither of us would hear him. It's like a good band. My friend Josh Netsky and I really like the Fruit Flies. Yeah. And look them up sometime. I can't really define them. But they're a band from Chicago. I doubt they'd ever play here. Yeah. Or a band like the Priscillas in England. They just, it's local. But there are these bands all over the country that you're not going to know about. Right. And that's the way, this is a way where before you would never hear about them. I had a friend, I think he learned, there was an old blues man playing on a porch he would go hang out in the neighborhood with.
Oh, I love that.
And that's just, isn't that great? It's like,
it is.
You know, I have people throwing parties during quarantine on my street. This guy's hanging out with a blues guy. It's
I want in on that. That'd be fun.
You know, and everything. And again, like but it's all out there, and all you have to do is look. And then you find, I always call them, I've used the term gateway drugs. You might think, okay, pop.
Yeah.
But then, like you've heard Nina Simone, you go, how can you top Nina Simone? Well, exactly. I got to get into this. Then you get in all the stuff from there. So that all the music out there is good.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to like see if you ever cover like Megadeth in the future.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll write that one down.
Actually, Rocky Erickson, I think you do. Or actually, Lucky Jim by Gun Club, I think you do a really good job on. Okay. And Jeffrey Lee's got a really odd voice. But I would listen to the Debbie Harry version. There's a challenge.
Okay, I'm going to bring it to rehearsal.
And that's the other thing. How did this come about now? When was your first like gig in terms of, not school, but in terms of public?
My first gig in public, I mean, I guess my first gig here, so hard to know. I did...
I don't care.
Well, I'll say with the guys, with Adrianna as advertised, we started in the winter, and we started practicing then. And Danny at Abilene, he gave us our first gig.
I do have the perfect thing. If we ever do a cover band of Adrianna advertised, we'll call it false advertising.
Oh, good idea.
Good. But how did that come about then, the band? So was this one of the first times you played with them when I saw you?
Yeah, that was, I think, the second time maybe. Our first gig was in January, so I think it was the second gig. And the first one was at Abilene. And it was so fun.
So cold, too,
It was
remember?
So cold, but it was so fun, and I love that place. But yeah, we got together because my friend Kent, he knew Chuck Salvaggio. I think he only knew him, but he knew that Chuck had this jam shack and that they would have, jam sessions out there every Monday, I think it was. So he invited me out there, and I was like, sure, why not, right? So I went out there, and we just jammed, but it was so fun. And so we just decided that we were all going to do the thing and make it a band.
And it meshed, too. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's always cool when you do that. It's also cool to remember when you're playing in Abilene outside, make sure if you're a smart musician, stay on the left so you don't get bit by the bees.
Oh, my gosh, I know. No,
it's those little funnel plants.
I know. But I've been so fortunate to meet so many great musicians here that are just wonderful. I mean, it's just so nice. I play with a group called Bob's Brothers Band, and they're more so in Livingston County, but they're so great, and they actually found me when I was at Levin Cup Idol, and so that was, I don't know, 5 years ago now. So I've been playing with them, and they're the greatest group of guys. And then I never thought I would find a second great group of guys, but I did. So
now, this year obviously is, what can we say about music in 2020? But Bob's Brothers Band's still playing.
Yeah.
They're still.
Well, they've got some, we had a wedding not too long ago. We've had, a lot of stuff, like with anything, has been canceled, which is really sad, But yeah, there's still a wedding that we did. just like a graduation party. Like, just kind
It's
of
actually good bands, too, at these parties.
I know. It's
We've had
so nice.
I think the last weddings I went to, not only that, but if you ever want Adrianna, she can officiate your wedding.
Oh, yeah, I can. I sure can. I officiated my cousin's wedding, so I can do that. And
Not
I
only
can
that,
sing.
but a side gig as a wedding officiator, too. That's awesome. But that's really cool, because I think the last weddings I went to, I think we had DJs.
Yeah, they tend to be popular, too. I mean, it's still... It's fun. That's my one thing about playing weddings. I, first of all, love them because everybody's so happy and everybody's just dancing and they're just having a great time. But the other thing is I always get nervous that that I'm not going to be singing enough, of the stuff that they want, right? I'm always like, okay, you sure that this
Maybe
list
do you
is
ever,
good?
size up the audience, get an idea of, the ages and everything?
They do, Bob's Brothers Band, there's two guys, Dave and John, and they usually do most of the, the back and forth communication for all that, to get the details and stuff. So I'm never really a part of that, but they do get a set list and stuff, and they talk with them, so that's good. But, sometimes I have to learn a new song for, the first dance or something, and there is nothing more nerve-wracking than having to sing the first dance song. I'm like, please,
I know when I saw the Mangle Groovy Kind of Love for one, I'm going, okay, you either do Phil Collins or you do the original, don't do what the heck that was.
I always get so nervous.
And I'm always the same. I had to go to one in Ravenwood. What they did, number one, us finding you was fun, but we found it. But what they tried, they did mostly 50 tunes.
Yeah.
And people were dancing, the daughter, the father and daughter, the bride, are dancing, boogieing away. And I'm usually Mr. Stuck in the corner, give me the bar.
Yeah.
But then it's especially Italian weddings where you get the cookie cake. Oh. And I admit, I did the chicken dance.
Oh, sure. There you go. Why not? You gotta do those dances. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's been fun, and I wish that we still had more weddings, but it's still good. We've got some stuff still. Hopefully.
Oh, also, who's come on the scene? Actually, oddly, how we have that little 6 degrees of separation, Mr. Chris Clinton. How did you find him?
Okay, so
when Ned Pepper taught the band to play many years ago, I knew Chris, and then we got caught in the ozone layer.
Yeah,
and then we were bee eaters.
Well, I had So I met Chuck, and I met Jeremy, and I'm trying to think who was there that first night that I went to this jam shack. But, in Adrianna as advertised, it's Chuck Salvaggio, Jeremy Grace, Chris Govin, and Eric Trumpowski. But I think it was our second gig, or maybe our first gig at Abilene. I can't remember now. When you were there at Valentine's Day, was Chris Clinton playing?
No, he wasn't there, I don't think. And Chuck missed that gig, because he told me.
That's right.
I was telling him, I said, I saw you.
That's
and
right.
He said, that's the only gig I missed.
That's right. So we had, the first gig, we had Chris Clinton playing bass, because Chris Govin, who's the bass player, for Adrianna's advertised, he wasn't able to do that gig. So Chris stepped in, and that's how I met Chris. And he's such a fun guy.
I've known, we go back many, many years.
Yeah.
And I was surprised when you did your streaming. Is that Chris? Hi,
yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, so he's so talented. He plays guitar as well. And so I was like, well, this guy's great. This guy's awesome. And so I'm like, we got to do something else. We got to,
And I think you bring, and I've known Chris all these years, I think also what you bring, especially in these days, you bring positivity.
Yeah.
It's not you're going out. It's not some emo thing when you want to cry.
No.
That's what I was thinking too. You could do something like, for example, if you ever wanted to do, if you did 2 sets, do like a pure jazz set with the way you do vocals or something. You do like old school.
That would be nice.
Jazz and everything, because I think you really, like I said again, you're really undefinable, and you can carry anything. Like one of those people who's going to ignore me 5 years from now.
No.
I don't know. I have friends. I have every friend. I've like a couple of my friends who I've seen from the beginning, and I say the only thing I want when you play Madison Square Garden, I want backstage.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. How did I meet? But yeah, no. Chris and I we started to do the live streams. And that was super fun. And we were like, let's do it. And our inspiration for that was Grace Potter, who does the live stream
And then
Mondays.
I have to say, you actually had the guts. I had to write a suggestion because I saw Elvis Costello at Jazz Fest. You were asking what to do.
Oh, yeah.
And I just said Elvis would do the wheel.
Yep.
So you literally did it and you sung the song.
Yeah, I was like, I'll do it. And so I put him in a hat, and I picked songs out of a hat. But that was fun.
And then also, not only that, but you did not just get music. You got recipes.
Oh, yeah.
Drink recipes.
Yep. His wife, Sally, she did some drink recipes for us. She made
I tried the
salsa.
dip. I made it a little hot. That was my fault.
Oh, my gosh. It was so spicy.
Well, I made it a
good.
little. I once got Tadco. It's a different name now at the Genesee Regional Market. I got bird's eye peppers from Africa. So I made harissa, which is like African salsa. Advice. Yeah, these are, you don't know hots, you try these.
No, that sounds hot.
And it's
really
like one of those where, and they get you where it's not bad. Oh!
And then it's that, yeah.
And the worst thing I've ever had, I don't know if you've had it, the old toad, it's fowl. It's like this Indian dish, Faal. It literally, I had one, it was like getting punched in the stomach for days.
I've never been there. I've always wanted to go.
Well, I would wait for now.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I'll take you down there. I know.
Sweet.
I know. I used to work there. I used to do the door there. I know all the people there.
Really?
But I think we should wait for.
Yeah, we'll wait until a safer
this year's
time.
a little.
Good Lord.
Who would ever think that though? Like if you said, "Hey, you want to do something or go to the store," like say, you just want to go to the store. Okay, just you go get the car, go to the store. Now. Do I got my mask? Do I got my list?
Yeah,
Do I have to go run around in there?
Oh my God, the amount of times I've forgotten my mask. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I know.
But then once it's on, I'm like, oh.
But I know, like, you've worked, like, you did the thing outside of the one store.
Yeah. So
and now how they're open, though.
Yeah, so I work at Glenna's as well.
And the reason I wanted to bring that up is the voting still on? Vote for best.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
I want to do plugs, so if the best, whatever.
Yeah, if you guys want to go to Rochester's Best, I think it is, or Rochester's Choice, but it's for Glenna's CBD. I think it's under Beauty, Health and Beauty, or something like that. Oh my gosh, I should look it up.
We are shameless about plugs on this show.
I'm bad at them.
But Chris was great at that show because he's all those things he's saying.
Oh yeah.
And the weird part about watching that show was you could tell it's getting near autumn because it started getting dark.
Oh yeah. No, it was fun. So we did a little pop-up live stream at Glenna's CBD at in the 12 Corners of Brighton, and that was super fun. I love every time before a show, I use her CBD.
And I love both. How, like, when you're playing, you know as much about technology as I do. You're looking at the camera.
So
I've had
bad.
friends, somehow you do it, like when you play guitar, Chris does, you're right-handed. I've had people for whatever, and I have no clue whether it'll be left-handed.
Oh.
Or they'll freeze or something. It's just real. I had one of your things where it's just for some reason, and it's just,
We're
I have no
so
idea.
bad at technology.
But are you still going to do them every now and then, or are you just sort of...
I don't know. We might do, one every now and
Advice
again for fun.
I found from friends. I've had friends who started this in March, and
Yeah.
a lot of them, I've seen them actually literally losing it because, like, one of my friends just actually said on air one time, it's not because we don't have any feedback. I think the best way to do it is like you do it. Don't do it every week. Do it like when you feel like it.
Exactly. And we were doing it every week, and that was fun.
Yeah.
And now, now that we've had a couple of gigs, if, some things you can have trios, I don't know.
But are you going to be recording soon, you think? Or
Yeah,
some real CDs?
Yeah, so we've got, we're doing our one song, In the Light, that I wrote. I wrote like an EP's worth during this quarantine.
One of my friend Sean McVeigh, said he's written between 3 and 4 albums. So make use of it. Make use of it.
Yeah, so I started writing when at the beginning of the quarantine, and so we've gotten together to start to record at least one song. We're recording one song right now. It's called In the Light. I think it's the newest one that I wrote, actually. But it's super fun.
And if you want to go on YouTube too, you do a making of one of your songs.
Yeah.
You can watch how you would put one together.
Yeah, I did that with Bob Marini. Yeah, we put that together. That was the song Grown, I think it was we were talking about. And that was super fun. But yeah, so I don't know. That was one of my biggest mentors, and so that was super fun. Wow. He really helped me a lot.
Well, and speaking of fun, too, this has been lots of fun. I'm just glad you came down. And
Thank
we'll have you
you.
and Chris down, too, in the fall.
I know, that'll be good.
You know, one of the beauties I like, too, is like when I see artists, like when I see them starting out, is over the years, your progression and what you get into and everything.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. And then you'll look back, too, and say, well, I started as this and I came from here.
Yeah, I think always just, like, my biggest thing, I think, has been just, always being open to things and like trying different things.
You have the right attitude.
Yeah, and like the people, I've learned so much from so many people. I had one teacher, Teresa Bala. She was the pianist for my high school, and she helped me so much with auditions that I was doing. And she actually, now that I'm thinking about it, she was the one that really, like, we would sit there and I would sing a song and she'd be like, okay, yeah, but maybe like do something different. And so then
That's the way. And I think also I've always said, like, there's solo artists, and then also when you work in a band, you learn teamwork.
Yeah.
And it bounces off. Somebody's got a different style. Somebody brings it. But,
Absolutely.
Do you think plugs in terms of this, we can find you, Adrianna, as advertised, and on like Facebook, like the page.
Yeah. So
you're on YouTube.
Yep, I've got Adrianna as
Spotify.
advertised. Yeah. I've got Spotify is just Adrianna Noone. And then Amazon is Adrianna Noone, Apple Music Adrianna Noone. But then if you there's a website, Adrianna is advertised. There's Facebook, Adrianna is advertised, and then there's, my Instagram, Adrianna.
And do you have anything right now coming up, you think? Or, I mean, right now, we're not going to go on about music. It's frustrating for all performers.
I know.
It could change from today till tomorrow. I've talked to Danny Deutsch.
Yeah.
I told him that we should put the artists in a hot air balloon so they're away, and then we can just
I know. You know what, though? I really, I commend all these bar owners that are still trying to figure it out, because
I've heard friends say, let's just stay above water.
Yeah.
And all I can do is hope for the best.
Yeah.
So if right now you don't really have anything coming up for shows or anything?
Well, we've got a couple at Roar.
Love it.
If all still goes well, we've got a couple at Roar, if we're still allowed to do it. And that should be one in September, one right before Halloween, which is my favorite holiday.
That's my favorite. Actually, Grease Creeper is one of my really good friends. We, in theory, we're playing a Halloween show at Photo City.
Okay.
And I guess Danny has got the heck out of the place. And I'm going to have Ryan and Colin, Tommy. They're all good friends of mine and regulars. We're going to have them on here to promote it. And supposedly we're going to have, but right now it's scheduled.
Yeah.
So let's just see. It would be distance. You'd have to sit down.
Yeah.
And these are all good friends of mine. And that's always my go-to place on Halloween. I was at Skylark. I was out there. Halloween is my day.
That's
and we're all Halloween now because we're all wearing masks every day.
I know.
But that's Roar. I love Roar, obviously. And I remember your gig there was great.
So fun.
I kept looking up at the balloons.
I love that place. And we have another one, I think, too, if all goes well, like I said, at Abilene in September as well. So hopefully 2 in September and 1 in October thus far.
And I can speak to the places I know. I mean, I go places I know Danny. I know, both Dannys, I know them, but I know. And Roar, I've had friends play there before. This is a tough as heck time, but when you go to, Abilene, they do a really good job.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't have any troublemakers or anything.
No. And that's the other thing, is that they've all not only been always ever changing with these, new rules and regulations, but they've also been doing a really good job at it. A really, really good job.
I think I'm very Roar. I felt fine.
Yeah.
Plus, I kept looking back while you were playing. That lion with the mask looks so cool.
I know.
love the little lion.
I know. I love.
And you also you were on the news.
Yeah.
And all I could think of, you could see your Dayglow nail polish.
Oh my gosh, I know. I love that nail polish.
I love it too. I keep looking. It reminds you of the Dayglow paints.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
cool.
love it. It was glow in the dark in that place. I'm
I
like,
know
ooh,
it was.
hello.
I'm looking at it. But this has been very great. I'm glad we could make. I know we had to dodge around because we're busy with this. We always are with times.
I know.
And we'll hopefully have you and
Thank
Chris
you.
back. But now we have another rare treat. Is Adrianna is going to play one song live, so I can get the heck out of here and get out of her way and maybe dog sit. But what do you want to play?
Oh, let me see. Let me think about it. I could do. That's a tough question.
Well, why don't you think about it,
Yeah.
and we'll just get ready, and then you can just introduce the song before you play it. So we're leaving it. The suspense will build.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye, doggy. Bye.
Bye.
Take a breath, honey, take a breath, honey. Won't you love on me, put your love on me. And I know it's hard sometimes to be alone at night, so won't you turn to me? Take a chance on me, share a little love with me. Oh, the pain of a crack in the heart can't be mended by the company of another. And the one who you love most, you ain't ready to forgive. And there's surely no forgetting the one who hurt you most. Take a breath, honey, take a breath, honey. Won't you love on me, put your love on me. And I know it's hard sometimes to be alone at night, so won't you turn to me? Take a chance on me, share a little love with me. Well, I recognize that sorrow's the kind that leaves you hollow. It's a shame to see you strain the rate at which you self-deprecate. And although it doesn't mean as much, you're the sweetest song I've never sung. So I'm open for you and I'm hoping for you and I'm bound to fail, but I'm there for you. Now I'm trying for you and I'm bound to fail. Take a breath, honey, take a breath, honey. Won't you love on me, put your love on me. And I know it's hard sometimes to be alone at night, so won't you turn to me? Take a chance on me, share a little love with me. Take a chance on me, share a little love with me.